Hello, this is Katie from KT and the Squid. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the rose tote, which is what I'm showing here. You will need the pattern to follow along with this video. I will leave a link to where you can find it for free on my blog, as well as to where you can find all the materials that you'll need. For this project, you'll need 2 balls of Curio, which is a number 3 thread. Each ball is 295 yards and it's 100% cotton. You'll also need a size F or 3.75 millimeter hook or hook to obtain gauge, as well as a tote bag that's about 15 inches by 16 inches. Gauge is very important for this project, so the first thing we'll do is make a gauge swatch, which will look a little bit something like this. To make your gauge swatch, you'll first chain 28, and then you'll work a row of single crochets into your chain, and you'll end up with 27 stitches. Next, you'll work rows 25 through 36 of the actual pattern. Row 25 starts with a chain 3, and from here on out that will count as a double crochet. Next, you'll double crochet into the next stitch. Then you'll chain 2 and skip 2. Then you'll work a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch. And then you'll chain 2 and skip 2. And work a double crochet into the next stitch. So this is the repeat all the way across. You'll chain 2, skip 2, work a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, and then a double crochet. So you'll repeat that all the way across until you have 1 stitch left. Here I'm just working that repeat one more time. So chain 2, skip 2, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 2, skip 2, and double crochet into the next stitch. So here I am at the end of the row. You can see I have 1 stitch left, so I'll work a double crochet into that last stitch. Next, I'm going to start it's row 3 of my gauge swatch, but it'll be row 26 from the pattern. So row 26 starts with a chain 3 again. Then you'll work a double crochet into the next stitch. And you'll chain 2 and then work 3 double crochet into this chain 1 space here. Then you'll chain 2, you'll skip 1 double crochet and then work a double crochet into the next double crochet. And then that's the repeat all the way across. So we'll chain 2 and work 3 double crochet into this chain 1 space. And chain 2, skip 1 double crochet, and then double crochet into the next double crochet. So you'll repeat this all the way across and you'll end up with 1 stitch left. Here I am at the end of row 3 or row 26 of the pattern. You see I have just my turning chain left, so I will double crochet into the top of this turning chain. So next is row 4 or row 27 from the pattern, which starts with a chain 3. Then you'll work a double crochet into the next stitch. Then you'll chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and work 5 double crochet into the next stitch. Then you'll chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and work a double crochet into the next double crochet. And that's the repeat across. So you will chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, 5 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. So I'm just showing you one more time. I chained 1 and then I skipped 1 double crochet. Now I'm working 5 double crochet into the next double crochet. Then I'll chain 1, skip 1, and work a double crochet into the next double crochet. And you'll repeat this all the way across again until you just have 1 double crochet left. So here I am at the end, and I just have the turning chain left again, so I'll work a double crochet into the top of the turning chain. So next I will start row 28 from the pattern, which again starts with a chain 3 and a double crochet into the next stitch. Next you're going to skip 2 double crochet and then work 7 double crochet into the next stitch. So you're basically working into the middle of this shell here. So after I finish struggling to get those 7 double crochets into this stitch, I will again skip 2 and then double crochet into the next. And that's the repeat all the way across. So I'll skip 2, double crochet into the next. And then I'll skip 2, 7 double crochet into the next, skip 2, 1 double crochet into the next. So you repeat that until you have 1 stitch left. So here I am at the end of row 28 or row 5 of our gauge swatch. And then I will work a double crochet into the top of this turning chain. Sometimes you just gotta struggle your way in to get that stitch in. The next 4 rows of the pattern will be similar to the previous 4 rows. They will just be slightly shifted over. Row 29 starts with a chain 3. Next you will work 2 double crochets into the next stitch. Then you will chain 2 and skip 3 double crochet. You'll want to double count your stitches to make sure you're skipping the right amount. Then you will double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 2, Again, skip 3 stitches. Then you will work a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. Next you'll chain 2, skip 3, double crochet into the next. Don't forget to chain 2 like I almost did here. And that'll be the repeat across until you have 5 stitches left. So it's a chain 2, skip 3, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 2, skip 3, double crochet. So here I am at the last repeat. You can see I have 5 stitches left. So to complete the row, we're going to chain 2, skip 3 double crochet, and then 2 double crochet into the next. And then we'll finish off the row by working a double crochet into the top of the turning chain. And this is what it'll look like. So next we will start row 30, which again starts with a chain 3. Then we'll work 2 double crochet into the next double crochet. And then you'll chain 2, and you'll skip 1 double crochet, double crochet into this next double crochet. Then you'll chain 2, skip 1 double crochet, and work 3 double crochet into this chain 1 stitch. Does anybody else lose their stitches like I just did? So you'll work 3 double crochet into that chain 1 stitch, and then you will chain 2, skip 1 double crochet, and double crochet into the next stitch. So that's the repeat across, and again you'll end with 5 stitches remaining like you did in the previous row. So here I am at the end. Again, I have 5 stitches left. So I'll end with a chain 2, skip 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet into the next, and then like always we're going to end with a double crochet into the top of the turning chain. So next we'll start row 31 from the pattern, which again starts with a chain 3. Then you will work 3 double crochet into the next stitch. And then you'll chain 1, skip 1 double crochet into the next. Next you'll chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and then work 5 double crochet into the next stitch. After you get those 5 double crochets in, you will chain 1, again skip 1, and then work 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. And that's the repeat all the way across, and just like the other rows, you'll end with 5 stitches. So here I am with 5 stitches left. Next we'll chain 1 and then work, skip 1 double crochet and then 3 double crochet into the next. If I can get that chain. So skip 1, 3 double crochet into the next, and then we'll finish off the row with a double crochet into the top of the turning chain. I know these gauge swatches can seem like kind of a pain sometimes, but not only are we going to make sure that our gauge is correct so that our bag correctly fits onto our tote, but it's also a great time to get the hang of this stitch. And if I could just get that last double crochet into the turning chain, that would be awesome. Okay, there we go. So next we're going to start row 32 from the pattern, and just a few more rows and we'll be done with the gauge swatch. So again, it starts with a chain 3. Next you're going to work 4 double crochet into the next double crochet, and make sure you're not going into that first one, because remember our chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So we're working 4 double crochet here. And then we are going to skip 2 double crochet and work 1 double crochet into the next. And then we'll skip 2 double crochet and work 7 double crochet into the next. After you get all 7 double crochet in, you will again skip 2 double crochet and then work 1 double crochet into the next. So that will be the repeat all the way across until you have 5 stitches left. So it'll be a skip 2, 7 double crochet, skip 2, 1 double crochet. So here I am at the end. I have 5 stitches left. So I will skip 2 double crochet and work 4 double crochet into the next. And then we'll end with 1 double crochet into that turning chain. So after this, we'll start row 33. Row 33 is pretty similar to row, which would have been row 2 of our gauge swatch or row 25 of the pattern. The wording is just slightly different. So again, we'll start with a chain 3, and then you'll work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. You'll chain 2 and then skip 3. Next you'll work a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next. And then you'll chain 2, skip 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then a double crochet into the next. And that's the repeat all the way across until you have 1 stitch left. So it's very similar to row 25 or row 2 of the gauge swatch. It's just the wording is just slightly different. So here I am at the end. Again, I'm going to work a double crochet into the top of the turning chain. The instructions for the gauge swatch say to work rows 25 through 36 of the pattern. So next you'll want to repeat rows 26 through 28, and that'll bring you to row 37 or 36 of the pattern, and it should give you a good size gauge swatch, and it'll look something like this. Next, you'll want to block your gauge swatch before you take your actual gauge measurement. And here I'm just showing you the difference between an unblocked swatch and a blocked swatch, just so you can see the difference between the two. After you block it, the stitches are going to open up, and blocking just really gives you a better, a more accurate measurement. Here is a sped up clip of me blocking my gauge swatch. I chose to steam block mine, but you could wet block it if you'd like. So the first thing I do is I just pin out the corners, and then I'll lightly hit it with some steam. And then I will take some more pins and I'll just pin it out a little bit better. And then once I have more pins in, I'll hit it with steam a little bit better. Of course, you could wet block it, like I said, and wet blocking, you basically just get it wet and then you can pin it out to dry. You'll also want to note that this gauge swatch is slightly bigger than what the instructions say to make, because this was my original gauge swatch and I wanted to make sure that it was nice and big so I had a lot of area to measure. After I finished steaming, I left it to dry before I took out all the pins. So here's a clip of me measuring my gauge. Because of the pattern, it can be a little bit difficult to count the stitches. So what I do is I mark off 4 inches using my straight pins. And then once I have them marked off, I can remove my ruler, and then I'm able to accurately count how many stitches I have. Once I've measured one spot, I do like to go back and measure a second spot in the same fashion. I do this because I want to make sure that my tension was consistent when I was making my gauge swatch. So once I know how many stitches I have, I will repeat the same process for counting my rows. So once you know you have the right gauge, you can make your bag. So I'm not going to show you how to make the complete bag because it's really just a matter of repeating the rows that we did for the gauge swatch. So you will make 2 sides to the bag and then you'll seam them together. So here's one of my sides. It's all blocked and ready to go. So it's basically just 24 rows of single crochet, and then you will work the pattern that we worked in the gauge swatch until you have 48 total rows. So here's one side, and then I have my other side here. Like I said, they're blocked and ready to go. So the next step is to seam these together. What I'm going to do is I didn't fasten off the second side. So the next step is to put these together. So this last row is going to be a right side row. So I'm going to put these 2 right sides together. Next, you can work any seam that you'd like. I'm going to do a slip stitch down one side and then across the bottom and then up the other side. If you don't want to do a slip stitch, you could do a whip stitch and then you'll leave the top open. You could do any kind of seam that you'd like here. So here's my bag all seamed and I've already put my tote inside. The next step is to attach the crocheted bag to my tote. So the first thing I do is I grab a binder clip and I make sure that my seams are lined up, and then I'll put the binder clip to hold it into place. For my bag, I'm going to be using fabric glue to attach my crocheted bag to my tote. You could use a needle and thread if you'd like. I am not a big fan of sewing, so I like to use the fabric glue. Also, anything that you put in the bag, the weight is going to be held by the tote and not the crocheted bag. So I find that fabric glue works just fine for bags like this. When I glue my bag onto my tote, I'm going to make sure that the top of my crocheted bag lines up to the top of my tote. And you'll notice that the inside of my tote is a little bit wrinkled, but once you get everything attached, it'll look a lot neater. So this is my fabric glue. And then to hold the glue while it's drying, I have these clips. They're nail clips, but I like them because they're not super strong like the binder clips, and they won't leave a weird mark on my bag while it's drying. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on one of these shells at the top of my crocheted bag, and then I will hold it to dry with the clip. I don't use a lot of glue to start because I want to make sure that it looks nice and neat and so that you don't see any glue peeking through. So I will go back and forth while I'm gluing because I want to make sure that everything is nice and even. I'll just speed things along here for you. So this glue doesn't really take that long to dry, or at least set enough that I can move on to other sections. So I'll do the front of the bag and I'll let it dry for maybe 30 minutes, maybe not even that long, and then I'll take off the clips and I'll do the back side. Here I'm taking the clips off of the second side of the bag, and then the last step is to put the glue where the seam is. Now after the sides dried, I did go back and add a little bit more glue in between all of the shells just to add a little bit more strength. And here's the bag all finished. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel to stay up to date for more videos that I post in the future.